of the coolest things that I've found in being a full-time freelancer is the amount of freedom that I have, but that's not without a couple caveats. It's not without a couple of trade-offs that are super different from a 9-to-5 job or any job where you're on a salaried position or you have to punch a time clock. The reality is, it's the middle of the day, and I've done pretty much all of the work that I need to get done. There's some editing that I still need to do. There are some phone calls that I still need to make, but I can make those on the way home and before I get home, before my kids wake up from their nap. And really, the biggest principle that I've learned in being a full-time freelancer is that I have to have two things. Whenever I have these two specific things every single day, I can't fail. I will succeed if I have these two things every single day. So I want to give you my top 2 tips that really kind of are one big tip in what it means to be a full-time freelancer or an entrepreneur in general. The first thing, you have to have the right attitude. It means that you're not just doing it just to get something done. You're not just doing it to check a box. You're not just doing it to meet the bare minimum standards, but you have to have the right attitude that you are going to be successful, the attitude that it is a privilege to work for yourself, the attitude that it is a joy to be an entrepreneur, the attitude that says you're going to wake up and you're going to grind and you're going to go until you're done. The second thing is activity. So you have to have the right attitude, but you also have to have the right activity. If you're thinking the right things, but you're not doing the right things, then you're gonna fall flat on your face. If the attitude doesn't line up with the activity that you're doing, then you're ultimately gonna flounder and you're ultimately gonna fail. So these two things are critically important. The activity that I'm doing each and every day is getting on the phone with potential clients. I'm sending proposals to clients that I've had conversations with. I'm editing photos, editing videos. I'm making sure that I'm still learning my craft and I'm not just hunkered down in a coffee shop or in the library. I can't think of a world where I'll be penalized for learning to use my camera better when my job is to use my camera better. Does that make sense? So really, if you want to succeed in whatever entrepreneurial endeavor you have, the two things you have to have the right attitude and you have to have the right activity. And when you put those things together, you cannot fail, because your attitude is going to motivate your activity and your activity is going to motivate your attitude. When someone says yes, it's going to feel great. And when someone says no, it's not going to be the end of the world, because you're going to be able to handle the rejection because you're going to have the right attitude and there's going to be more activity following the rejection. So if you're an entrepreneur, if you're venturing out on your own, you gotta have the right attitude, you gotta have the right activity. I want to encourage you, don't just sit on your hands. You actually have to do something. You have to put yourself out there and not be afraid of the rejection. It's gonna come, it's gonna happen, but with the right attitude and the right activity, no one can stop you. If you like this video, subscribe for more. We're going to be talking more about photography, business, photography gear, and how we can maximize our impact. It's going to be a great ride. Can't wait to see you there.